What up, party people? Today I want to talk to you about process service and how to not get your ass handed to you in an altercation. So I was talking to an investigator the other day and he was telling me this story that ended up in a physical fight. And after I left that individual and I was thinking about his story, and I can't tell you how many times I thought to myself, he had so many opportunities to shut it down and walk away, and he didn't. So it tells me that these people are bringing it on themselves. I've been doing this for 20 years and I've never once been in a physical altercation during a process serve. And yes, I do documents where I'm actually looking for those that are violent. So step number one would be know the law. You don't exactly have to hand this aggressor or physically violent person the documents themselves, okay? That's not the law. All you need to do to cover your ass is to know the two basics. Identify the individual and notify them. That doesn't mean you have to stand over top of them and make sure they take the papers, because who the hell is going to do that? Nobody. And especially if you have a violent person. I'm going to go over a couple video clips and we're going to talk about clip by clip on how I was able to avoid a physical confrontation with a known violent person. So a couple of the moves that I want to show you in these upcoming clips are going to be very subtle. Most of you aren't even going to notice them, and subconsciously that's kind of where I'm hitting these individuals. So when you're going up to a violent person, I don't stand all squared up. I change my posture, I slouch a teeny bit, I bring it down just a tiny tad. B, I come at them with a little bit softer voice. I don't say, "Hey, Mr. Smith." I'm like, "Mr. Smith, excuse me," and that kind of takes it down even further. Also, when these individuals start coming at me, and you can see them themselves, they don't really quite know what to do. You see them posturing up, they're kind of squaring up. At that point, I don't allow them to get within striking distance first off, and second off, I take a step back and to the side. That eliminates that kind of that squaring up, threat, fight or flight kind of feeling that they're feeling, and hopefully they're feeling for more flight, but I doubt it. And so at that point, you want to go ahead and take a little step back. You want to turn to the side. I also take the documents and I look down at them. I can still see you out of my peripheral vision. I can still see the individual here. But with me stepping back, looking at the documents, I bet you right now you probably caught yourself looking at my hand versus paying attention to what I'm actually doing. And at that point, I've got them. I can hand them the documents, or I can either just drop them on the ground and split. Once that happens, once you've identified them, once you've notified them, the rest is just up to you to get the hell out of there. You don't need to stick around. You don't have to answer questions. If I do make a comment back, it's always I suggest you call the attorney on file and or follow up with the court clerk. Best of luck to you. And whatever you do, do not make this personal. I don't understand why you people make this personal. It is a job. You don't know these individuals. The situation's already kind of amped up enough as it is. So again, the steps are, if you see someone coming up to square up with you and or they're aggressive, you can either A, you've already notified them and identify them, get the documents out of your hands and just, go ahead and backpedal and get the hell out of there. Or B, if they're kind of coming at you, take a step back, go ahead and take a little step to the side, point out the documents, and then watch them in your peripheral because they are dangerous. You don't want to get caught up getting hit. And then at that point, once you've identified, notified, drop them and get out of there, and or it's toned down a bit, hand them, split. To add a little bit of a bonus, sometimes you'll see in one of these videos, not only do I identify them, I hold the camera up subtly, I get a great ID shot, and as I'm also not paying attention, I start backpedaling, and with that backpedaling, I get the license plates of both vehicles, I hit the street sign, and boom, I'm out of there. So there's just a few tips to avoid physical altercations and to also further document that you were there. And trust me, none of my process serves have been contested in court and I've never lost, only a one, and that was because the judge was a nut job. But outside of that, let's get you paid. Thanks so much. This clip is the perfect example of what I was talking about earlier on how to avoid a physical confrontation with an aggressor. This guy is an asshole. I'm coming up the driveway. I just saw him a moment ago. I'm coming up the driveway, and when I see him, I announce his name. "Hey, jerk." So he turns, and then as he turns, he's coming to me, with some expletives like, "Who are you?" blah, blah, blah. and I don't engage, right? I don't make comments back. This isn't personal to me. It's just I'm delivering papers. It's part of my job. So you'll see as I approach, he comes out, and at this point he starts kind of like squaring up on me. As I'm handing him the papers, he sees what's going on. He's squaring up. I don't let him, and you won't even notice if we just play this video at full speed. And right now is where I'm turning sideways and I start backing out. I don't let him square up with me. I keep my distance. And as he's like kind of grumbling to me, I literally told him, you could take the papers or I could drop them. It's up to you. He took the papers, boom, no incident. And I just kept him in my peripheral and started walking. Here's the video, full speed, and this way you get a sense to how I was able to evade. Here it is, I'm making my approach. I don't think he saw me. I'm making my approach, coming up to the garage. I see him, hey Jerko, and he comes stepping out, asking me what the fuck do I want, and there it is, he squares up, I start stepping back. I told him to take the dog so I could drop him on the ground. Thanks so much. And again, that was a perfect serve. So this is the second example I'd like to talk with you. Right here, you'll see me getting out of the car. The guy came in a little quick. I just grabbed the cell phone, turned it on the papers. Right now, I'm kind of crouching and jogging up behind his pickup truck. You'll notice right here, I turn the corner, and in a soft voice, I call out, "Ron, I got court docs for you." Right here, I knew that this guy, just because of his demeanor, the way he's like trying to evade, saying like, no, that's not me, you got the wrong guy. I knew at this point he only likes to hit women. So what I did was took a step up with my cell phone. I took a great ID shot of this knucklehead. I tossed the docs onto the roof of the car, and I started backpedaling. How's yours? Right here. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not me. Boom, just a quick 1000, got the ID, stepping back, getting the license plates, getting his pickup truck license plates, still backpedaling, got the guy in my peripheral. I know he's not doing a darn thing. I go ahead and document the street corner because I just want to further demonstrate that this guy, because he's kind of a bitch, so I know he may very well challenge the proof of service. So with that, he definitely can't. So again, when it comes to very aggressive and violent people, go ahead, make your approach, be smart about it, and then if they square up or anything, start stepping back, step to the side, look down at those docs. But if it's someone like this guy, you already recognize nothing's happening, go ahead and flip those docs down, take an ID shot, get something else to back it up, and get out of there. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please subscribe, like it, smack it, flip it, rub it down. Thank you.